stream started. So we're going to start recording, and this will be a private meeting. So nobody else but podcast people will be watching. Okay.
Okie doke.
And I hope that you get a chance to get all of that done soon. So, but we can talk about that a little bit more in DMs or other places. Let's, in fact, there might be some merchandising that we want to do for our podcast in the future. So do we have any specific, let's let Jeremy let us know when he started the recording so we don't start talking business without.
I just started recording like 10 seconds ago. So we are recording right now.
Okay, here we go. So we have this chance to talk to each other about, business that we need to conduct. Let's keep it on, on topic. If you have something that you'd like to talk about, go ahead and put it in the chat. If you're unable to do that because you're on a phone or it's difficult for you to do that, see if you can find a way to raise your hand either, like this or, put it on, I don't know if there's some way to do it in the participants area. But, let's just make sure that whatever you need to talk about gets on the agenda. If you put it in the chat, then we'll make sure that, we know that needs to be talked about before we leave. Okay, so the first order of business, I think, is I want to let people know that the podcast, server and website is up. So you can get yourself an email, all right, that ends in it's our server is YGRT, is that right? YGRTpodcast.com. And it's also being, I believe that if you go to YangGainRoundtable.com.
That's great news.
That will also take you to YGRTpodcast.com. It's just being forwarded. So we only have one website, and we're only using the YGRT podcast as the main.com. Okay, so the first one is where you can get yourself an email so that you can, represent the podcast with an official email that belongs to you, and everybody knows that you are part of our group. Okay, I think Jeremy has signed up for one, Jacqueline has signed up for one, and Faye Doney. So I would love to see more of you signing up for one. But if you're going to sign up for one, I'm going to ask you to please check your email. Okay, so if you have trouble, the first thing you want to do once you sign up for it is you're going to want to find a way to check your email. That means either setting up your Gmail or whatever email service you have right now to go and get that email, to get the emails off the server. Okay.
I have a question with that, because I got that set up, and every time I send an email out, it turns the apostrophes into question marks. Does anyone, is it just because of how I set up on my phone? Every time I send an email, it's a question mark.
I have not heard of that problem before.
Oh,
that's a technical problem.
Maybe,
I might have to talk to you about that later because I've never heard of this. Interesting.
Okay.
Jeremy, have you actually used your? Okay, have you actually used yours, Jeremy, before? Have you used your podcast email yet? Okay, I can't hear you right now, Jeremy, because you're muted.
I'm sorry. I'm multitasking. I'm making dinner right now, so I had raw meat in my hands.
Sorry about that.
I will have to follow up with you and double check and make sure I'm not having the same problem. I don't think I am, but if I am, I'm unaware of it.
Where do we go to sign up?
Okay, so just DM me. What I'm going to need from you is I'm going to need you to DM me what username you'd like for your email. So for example, for me, it's faye.ku, okay, I have faye.ku at ygrtpodcast.com, okay? So it would be great if all of us, had the exact same style, but I notice that some of us don't like to give out our actual names. I don't know. Not sure why you'd want to do that. But also, whatever you plan to have as your public information on the website. Okay. So that might be the right thing to do. So I encourage you to use your real name, but if you want to appear as Moto, for example, or something else, let me know, and that'll be your username. Also, I'm going to need you to give me a temporary password, the first one, Okay, and then I think you can actually use your own, like you can use Gmail or something like that to change the passwords in the future if you need to. I'm not sure. Outlook definitely can do it. Okay, so hit me up on DMs when you're ready to do this, and I can walk with you, through how to set it up using Gmail app, for example, or the Gmail, to check your email and to send emails. Okay, I was able to walk Jacqueline through it, so I'm pretty sure I can help you. All right. The next thing is I'm going to want from you, if you haven't checked out our website yet, you can look at it. The next round of changes I'd like to make is to go ahead and put some sort of bio for each person, right? So if you are wanting to appear as a regular speaker and actually be represented on the webpage, then what I'm going to do is probably put together my own, okay, or put together a sample one and set it up on the website, and then you can follow that, and see what the format is and what kind of information is going to go into it. But think about it right now. What types of things would you like to have? What type of information you'd like? There'll probably be a descriptive aspect to it. So like a text description of who you are and what you're about. So go ahead and think about that now. And when I get around to making the sample of it, I'll show that to everybody and you can do your official one. Does anybody, and also if you have any comments about what you'd like to have on there, or, we're gonna go through a round of soliciting, opinions and comments about that. Shale, where are we in terms of maybe, have we done any research in terms of what we're gonna do in the future as far as incorporating, maybe doing some kind of LLC?
No, we have not done any research. Kiko talked to us a long time ago, and she has all the data, and she gave it to us before we were really thinking about it. We're still not really thinking. We're still just not sure what to do. I mean, I imagine us becoming a co-op at some point.
Okay.
But I haven't really thought too much about it.
Okay, so that might be something that we need to take a look at if we're going to do anything like in the future, actually having merchandise or fundraising of some sort.
Yeah.
Because we've been told that if we pass up a certain amount of gifts given to any particular person among us, it might become a tax issue in the future. And we wouldn't want one of us to be paying taxes for something that's, really for the benefit of everybody.
One
Yeah, Zach?
idea I just want to throw in there. When looking into that stuff, it also, because there's a lot of us and we're all in different parts of the country, once we decide if we want to become a nonprofit or an LLC or whatever, it may also be worth looking into the benefits of opening it up and registering it in one location versus in another. Like I'm thinking about that
Yes.
conversation we had in the chat about how expensive it is to open up a business registered in Manhattan about a week ago. So
Everybody
So-
goes to Delaware. Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
something to consider.
Yeah, there's some special benefits to going to Delaware, and I think
Yeah.
we should, make a schedule for the next time we come back to talk, for us to have some research on that, and which of us can volunteer to bring back some of that research.
Yeah.
And also,
I don't know if
Here's
we
a-
actually need to have somebody living in Delaware or
oh,
in
you don't.
wherever. No? Okay.
Yeah, you don't. So what you would need is a post office box, and you need somebody answering the phone, I think. And there's actually people in Delaware, because so many people open, the LLCs in Delaware. There's a lot of people who provide that service of just having a mailbox to get your mail to you, and having the, having a phone number. But there's other things that we probably need to know, right? So we need one or more of us to do a little bit of research on that for the future. So if anybody would like to volunteer for that, let me know. Another thing about the incorporating ourselves is that we are going to need some rules that we need to actually talk about together. So some of the rules that we might need to talk about are, how will, who will actually be named as partners? And then as partners, how do you, like share the profits, or how are profits going to be used? And, like just a lot of what they call the bylaws of opening, of incorporating. So I encourage everybody to take some time between now and the next meeting to research what bylaws mean for an LLC, and to think about different ways that you might like to organize. And we'll make a list of the things we need to talk about as a group. And also think about whether or not you want to be officially named as somebody in the partnership, or if it would be easier to just have Shale, have his own LLC, or a particular person that's very important, kind of hold it down, so that if people are leaving and coming, it doesn't become like there's constantly some sort of, some sort of issue with that.
I have an idea that could potentially save us some work and create some good content. There's a man named Professor Richard Wolff, and one of his professional jobs is teaching companies how to incorporate as co-ops when they're being sold. Usually, he puts together package deals for owners to sell to employees, so that companies that were privately or corporate owned become employee owned co-ops rather than private companies. So maybe Richard Wolff would come on our show and kind of make an episode out of it. I'm a big fan of Richard Wolff, so I don't know, Jeremy, if you know who he is, or if you'd be willing to reach out and explain that we're ready after 100 episodes. We've had Richard Ojeda, we've had Ro Khanna, we've had Tim Ryan on, Scott Santons. We're a basic income advocacy podcast, which I would love to hear what Richard Wolff thinks of that anyway, because he's kind of an old school socialist, which, sort of me too. But I'm pro UBI. But yeah, man, he could give us all the advice. It would be recorded in an episode. It would be a nice package. So maybe Richard Wolff is the way to go to learn how to incorporate.
I see Shale just stepped out from his other job as a male model.
Oh, yeah, man. Hold on. I don't know. I'm not looking at my camera. Do I have it on like too sexy? Too sexy.
No, I think Shale is okay.
Not sexy enough, buddy.
All right. I won't wear a shirt because we're not on Twitch. That's my policy. No shirt. So,
yeah, I haven't gotten a lot of feedback from anybody about the current, about what I've been working on in terms of the web page. Now we are on a bunch of different places right now, and the web page at least reflects all the different ways that you can watch us or listen to us. And so if you forget and you want to share something, just go straight to the ygrtpodcast.com and you can find that information quickly, right? You can click on it and say, okay, go here. So it helps us to share things. And in the future, I'd like to also do some of this, maybe put a calendar on there so we can stop having to constantly try to ask Jeremy what's going on. So Jeremy is continuing to be our calendar holder, though. He's the one that makes it. And so I would like to ask Jeremy to find a way to make all of the information appear together in the same place. But Jeremy has said that it's difficult for him to do that with the way that he uses his calendar. So I wanted to try to explore whether it would be easier to make some adjustments in how Jeremy is able to use his calendar. Or maybe make a second layer or something, and eventually just put that up on our website so everybody can get it, or put all the information. I want to make a section of the website where we can gather together information for us as the podcasters. It can be like a semi-private area of our site.
Yeah, so there is a So when you go into the sharing settings for my calendar, there is a embed option. If we use that embed option, would that automatically update?
So I'm thinking it would be great to have a calendar for also our viewers, right? If they want to catch up with something we're doing, they can say I see something coming up I would like to go to. Of course, the calendar is still going to be fluid, and our real focus is going to still be the audio podcast. But sometimes it's nice for people to show up in Twitch or something like that, right? So,
no doubt.
Okay, so Jeremy, you and I probably need to work on that separately outside of this meeting, so we don't take up everybody else's time.
I mean, it shouldn't be so hard to just publish a public version of a Google Calendar, Jeremy, while preserving private entries that only you can see, right? Is it not work that way?
Well, it's me and Jeremy can work out the details.
Okay,
probably
sure, yeah.
Separately.
All right. I don't mean to waste everybody's
Well,
time.
you'd have to basically set up two calendars. One that's a public calendar that's got schedule and everything, and one that's a private calendar, and only allow access to one.
Sounds like the solution.
And then we can still have the iCal links or something like that, so we can still add it to our own personal calendars that we're using for our own personal schedules, which I love. But right now it's missing some of the other, some of our regular podcasts and stuff like that. So I still see people every weekend asking Jeremy, when is our time, right? And I just want to try to make that more.
Just to put a bullet on it, what we're looking for is a single calendar that lists both the recurring open discussions that happen in lieu of a guest if there's no guest on a given day, or alternately the time for a guest that day, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Ideally, we want posted Thursday so everyone can see it before the weekend and prepare accordingly.
Because I see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us have shown up to this meeting, which is pretty good, out of probably 15 pretty regular speakers. That's not too bad. Gathering 8 people at the same time on a weekend is not easy. So hopefully we're able to make this really convenient, and we'll get even more participation in the future. So the next thing, go ahead.
Lucky to actually find out about this meeting because I didn't know about it before. It was just the fact that it was announced at the end of the podcast that I found out about it.
Well, I had announced it a couple of times in the DMs, and I know that nobody's. I do. I keep a track. I read every single DM in there, but I know it's time consuming and it's difficult.
Well, the problem is that DM is very, very active. So if you post it, it might be 25, messages up.
Yeah, and then you lose track of it, and then it's time again. It's how do I find it while it's scrolling, while other people are talking? Yeah.
We could have an email list and send an email out every Thursday night or something. But that's more work for somebody or a bit of an algorithm for setting up once. I don't know.
No, I'd like to. I'd like to set up an email list. That would be great.
So I think that could probably be automated with the calendar, probably.
Yeah, perhaps. But I think also with our DMs, we have a lot of people within the DM group chat that are not actual real members of the podcast, if I can say that, or not at least not
regulars.
Members.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they're there. I think they're part of our bigger community, but I know what you mean. They're not key in planning, so sometimes they do kind of create a noise to signal issue in the channel.
Right.
So Shale, you have actually a Twitter list that says podcast speakers, and one of them I've never met before, and some of them don't seem to be real regular speakers, and some of our regular speakers that are current now are not on it. So I'd love to see you update that one, because I think I actually like using that, and I see everybody else's tweets. It's pretty
Maybe
cool.
I should delete that and you can maintain that list, because I'm not going to be good at it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I'll hand that to you. You seem to have a grasp on what it should be, and I just don't. I mean, because I kind of thought the more the merrier. It's kind of a promotional tool, but maybe you're right. Maybe you should keep it more focused for the sake of content. People have so little attention span these days. Anyway, I don't know.
So I would love to have a future email list, and I think that would have to be, who would want to take that responsibility on right this minute?
Well, just to clarify, the email list is just, it's just us, the regular speakers, and it's just telling us the schedule every week. So if the schedule can be locked in by Thursday, I don't see why we can't just automatically have Google Calendar send out to everyone on our list at midnight Thursday the schedule, an email, so everyone gets it. There's nothing more concrete on the internet than an email, right?
I mean, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to table that for next meeting. Is that okay?
Well, if I can add just real quick, what's more reliable, people checking their Twitter or people checking their email?
That's a matter
Neither.
of opinion.
Neither.
I don't know. I don't know. Like,
The more ways, the better. But
I
yeah,
guess I was assuming email because email is kind of the primordial stuff of the
Go,
internet.
yeah,
But
go
maybe
from
that's a
all
fallacy.
angles.
But that's a fallacy. That's completely me making things up. So I don't know.
What about just starting another group chat through Twitter that's just people who are active on the podcast, and the only function of that chat would be scheduling? You know, no talking, no bullshitting.
I'm
in
down
there,
with that.
just scheduling.
Yeah, I think that's the correct solution right here.
so we have one chat and one chatty chat and one business chat.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm down.
All right, let's do that.
We have some people who are aspirational speakers who just never show up, unfortunately. So we'll have to see how that works too. I think the problem is that every single person enjoys getting their information a different way, and it has to fit their lifestyle and what they like to use. So that's the problem, is you can't get anybody to, since we're not a business that pays people and we're all volunteers, it's difficult to get people to comply with our needs as an organization. But I think at some point in the future, you know, if we're to continue to do better, we're going to have to make some pretty tough decisions about, you know, things that we're going to require people to do in order to continue participating. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was getting the word out. So Jeremy had made a comment at some point that we're not doing enough to promote the podcast individually and as a group. And it's because we don't have like somebody who's a specialist. I mean, some of us might be able to do that, but then we also can't do every other thing that needs to be done. And so we have to kind of take it on as a responsibility for all of us right now. And so far as I know, we have different people in charge of different aspects of our podcast, which is like, I think, Zach, are you working on the YouTube, moving things to YouTube section?
So I owe everybody an apology. I have been slacking tremendously with that. I don't think I've uploaded a new video to the YouTube in probably about 2 weeks now.
You're very busy.
Is I don't know how it happened, but I kind of like accidentally started a business. As ridiculous as that sounds, I've
cool.
been doing work on TaskRabbit through the TaskRabbit app. And when I first started, it was just very slow. It was a few odd jobs here and there. But once I got a few reviews, things have just been snowballing. And I've been working 7 days a week, like 10 hours a day, pretty much just doing stuff. So, I mean, my own podcast is kind of taking a back seat as well. But I know this Don, we were talking recently. He basically said, because he runs the Twitch, there's a way that we could set up a shortcut through Twitch where we connect the Twitch account to the email account that's associated with the YouTube channel. And all we got to do is just like click a button, like send to YouTube, and it will just, you know, anyone.
Oh wow, like mirror the
do
stream.
It. Yeah, right.
That
So
seems to be
wouldn't-
a pretty good idea.
So what I had been doing was I've been downloading it, making a few edits, and then re-uploading it to YouTube, and the download and the upload part would each take like 40 minutes to download and then another 40 minutes to upload. So it was kind of time consuming.
It was even worse before that when I was like downloading it and compressing it and then sending it to you. And
yeah.
Which reminds me that Shale was going to tell us
done by
about
algorithm. I'm telling you. And you know, Moto is going to be here, but I don't know. I guess he's got stuff today. But you know, maybe next meeting he'll come and he'll demonstrate Bart, who works now and will revolutionize our SEO. Everybody.
Yeah.
So so that's wonderful, Zach. You let us know how we need to help you with getting that done. If you can do it on your own, or if you need us.
Yeah, I'll connect with this Don, because there was something that he had to do in the Twitch account, but it should be pretty straightforward. There's like one video, the one that we did last Sunday with I forget his name, but Faye, you were there and you brought this to my attention. We accidentally had his phone number in the video. So that's like the one that's
Yeah.
going to need some editing. But
That
other
needs a
than
little
that,
help. Yeah.
yeah, other than that, everything that's in Twitch, once Diston sets up the link, we should just be able to transfer over pretty much automatically.
Are there programs that like automate like this kind of stuff, or is that like difficult to create if we had people who knew how to make that? Does that make
So
sense?
Zach already, he's saying that there is already an automation that
Yeah,
he
the-
could
the-
take
What is that
advantage of.
called? What
It's
is that
part of
called?
Twitch. Twitch
Oh,
already
it's just
does
part
it.
of Twitch.
Yeah. Twitch
Okay,
and
I just-
YouTube got together and made a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, so it doesn't sound like you need help from us right now. So thank you for the report on that.
Fantastic.
And Shayla was going to tell us about an automation that is going to help us also. That he's
well,
working
yeah,
on.
yeah. I've for a while, me and Moto have been working on a bot to help our SEO. You know how we have been writing keywords in at the end of a session, or sometimes during. We'll write links and stuff. So there's a bot kind of like Craig, who's the kind of a companion to Craig, who will sit in Discord, and we can use them even if we're in Zoom, as long as people can just sit in Discord as well and type in the Discord, and then our Zoom guests won't even see our weird typing, so it all works out for the better. This bot will take everyone who's present in the conversation, add their Twitter automatically to an SEO document. It will number, timestamp, title the episode. It will give the name of the podcast in the document. It will list our standard keywords every time. It will list any custom keywords people think to tell the bot to add during an episode. So if something comes to mind, you throw it in the list. It's only there for that one episode. And it will compile a very human readable SEO optimized list of links and preview text for any links that we put in our chat, in our live stream chat. So it will draw on that to create SEO documents. No longer will we have to sloppily write them by hand. By we, I mean me.
Okay,
right.
so when are we going to start using that, Michelle?
Hopefully Friday.
Okay, so after that, you can give us a little training on it, or maybe the two of us can get together.
Yeah,
and
if not
make a
Friday,
training video.
maybe a week from today, next Sunday, we'll do a training at this general meeting. We'll do training on BART.
Okay, if we don't have a meeting next Sunday,
I have to clear it with
training.
Moto. So yeah. So that'll be good. Other thing I wanted to say regarding promotion, probably one of the best cost benefit ratio ways to promote for our particular product, for the thing we make, is to create clips, because we have brilliant moments in our conversations, but kind of the cost of that was we're very comfortable, we're free thinking. Sometimes there are low points too. So a lot of people don't want to sit through the low points, that's where we lose a lot of audience. If we could make clips and put them on our YouTube channel, if many of us could share the password and log in, I think that's fine, no big deal. What I
can do is
put them on YouTube.
Shale,
okay, yeah,
what I can do, I did this before, is that I was working with a product called Autonomy with another guy, long story, but all I did was I just got the time codes of when these important, like when these really like eye-opening, mind-opening things were said. I just put in the time codes, and then I gave a little description about what we were talking about. So I can definitely do that. I can't, like, someone else would have to kind of like do the technical stuff.
So
but
Ariel, why do you seem to have a little bit of an aversion to technical stuff? I want to challenge you here. I bet you can do more than you think. You seem like, I don't know why you don't think you can do this stuff. Maybe I can help you. Maybe I can teach you. What do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
thank you for being. I understand the fear. Thank you for being open-minded at the outset, at least. Go on, yeah.
But it could. But I don't know if I'd like kind of like mess this stuff up. But I can definitely get the time codes. The only thing that I can think of, if I can record it, is I'll just have to do it with like XSplit. Just like make a quick little recording, but like it'll have some kind of stuff in the background. But yeah,
I think that YouTube gives you tools with which you can create clips. And
me and Faye sat down just yesterday. We taught Faye OBS. I think we can equip you with some technical skills that will give you some capability and confidence that you're in that area that will really serve you well, because you shouldn't have to ask somebody else when you have everything else. It's like movie villains are always saying, if you want something done right, You have to do it yourself.
So for people who are watching our meeting like afterwards, in case you didn't find out or couldn't be here today, if you want to volunteer to do any of the things that you hear that might need doing, let us know and we'll train you up or sit with you to do it. And
yeah,
then,
we'll have a video making session actually in the near future, maybe in a week or two.
Yeah. On top of that, if anybody wants to make a clip of anything that's been broadcasted over Twitch, it's native within the support of the application. Anybody can go
same
to,
with YouTube. Yeah.
It's
Oh yeah, but I was just talking about Anchor and Spotify. I'm listening through there, but if Twitch has a little thing where we can
Twitch
cut
has
in
native clipping, all in
so I
browser.
can use that on the Twitch then,
and
just
you can
do
export
it
it to YouTube and put it on your channel or our channel or everywhere.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you're trying to make like some quick promotion for the show, yeah, you can do it really easy with Twitch. With video on top of that, it might be more difficult with the audio stream to draw attention to the show, but I think Twitch the pursue in that.
Jeremy, your voice just came in and out for me, and now you're muted again. Do you have anything else you would like to ask us to do in terms of just like, I think after every discussion, it would be good if one of us were able to at least make a post, right, of on Twitter and maybe a post on the Facebook. We have a Facebook group now. It's being run by Faye Doney, and it's both a group and a page. And so either one of those would be good to have some sort of announcement of our shows, either as they're upcoming, as they're being done, as they're live, and also afterwards. And the best thing to do that I think we need to do is we need to at least tag the people that are here as guests, or be shared to additional groups, or to other messenger groups, or to Twitter, or Shale had talked about maybe a Reddit, but any sort of, like, we should make an effort to at least share it once somewhere. For each of us can do something different, and also to make one post, like on our own areas, in our own timelines or somewhere. What do you think, Jeremy?
I completely agree. When it comes to podcasts like we had today, it's very difficult to like turn it into a soundbite, right? Like it's how do I describe, like how do we make like the podcast that we had today marketable in keywords, in terms of like people wanting to tune in? Like, I think I think the podcast we had today was very fucking valuable, but how do we describe it? Because it's all over the place. There's so many different topics, so many different reaches that we go. So I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me out with that.
Well, that's all right. Our show doesn't have to be easy to describe. We just have to make an effort to share it. And whatever, just sit and think this is how you do it. You sit and you think about what you found valuable, and it could be anything. Twitter is only going to limit you to 70 something characters, or however many, 140, I don't remember. But after you post the link, and then you've got only so many characters left. So just think of one important thought that you had, and then also put the names of the other people that you saw there, as many Twitter handles as you can remember, right? Same thing with if you go on Facebook or someplace else, try to remember who was there with you, and then think of one important thing that happened that really made an impact on you, and put it there. And then if you think, hey, this looks like something that is appropriate for a trafficking group, this is what I think would be really useful, and a trafficking group, go ahead and share it there, or share it in someplace Yang, a basic Yang area. So I think that would make it, with 15 of us, I think we could do a little bit of, self-promotion, and we'll be all right.
I did start a subreddit a long time ago, but I haven't kept up posting every episode there. I could start posting your episode there again, or maybe I should post it in like a different subreddit. Maybe I should just post it in like the Yang Gang subreddit. I'll probably try that, I think.
And
But
if
I just wanted
anybody
to-
feels like doing something and you might need permissions to do it, don't feel shy. Ask for the permission that you need, and maybe you can get in there directly and use these tools like we were talking about. With the right permissions, you can go in.
I just want to say if we could manage to lock the schedule in on Thursday, that would give ample time for Faye Donnie to post to the Facebook before the shows start Friday. So like if Jeremy could just if we could say like Thursday afternoon or whenever, just
I'm totally down to do that, by the way. I could
post
even
the
put it in my
schedule to
calendar.
if Jeremy could post schedule Thursday afternoon to the public calendar, if we get that worked out, then
Yeah, I was
Faye-
actually wondering if
Thursday
Faye would be able to
afternoon,
do that with her.
to the Facebook, we can get into a rhythm where it goes out. People know where to look, and then we can really start accruing regular fans. I think one of the big hurdles we have is people. It's a difficult show to even follow at this point, and that's okay. We have been developing the show. It is now more consumable than it ever has been, so it's a good time to grow our audience. I'm very happy with what we've been doing. I just think it's key we all continue working without feeling like undue pressure. We're really doing great work, and we're moving at a good pace. We're doing something weird. It takes longer when you're doing something weird for it to catch on in a way people start to understand and consume. But we're now getting there. So
besides the sharing right after the podcast so that our guests and other people know about it, the Twitch share is not actually a great share, because after 2 weeks, it's going to fall off of that. So after Shale has dropped the information on Anchor FM or Spotify, that's when you really want to pick that up. I think we need to share our Spotify a lot more, because that's really what we have in mind when we're making our podcast, right?
Faye, if you share a clip rather than an automatic recording of a stream, I think they call them video on VOD. And this is just their wording. So a VOD is the automated saving of a stream. A clip, which can be a full-length stream, is a manual saving of a stream. Clips last forever. So if we link to a clip, it's just as good. If we link to a clip on Twitch, it's as good as a YouTube video. It has as much permanence.
I don't think so. I think the Twitch actually, because we're not paying for it. If you pay for it, it might stay. But in 2 weeks, it drops off.
VODs disappear after 2 weeks, but clips don't. And a clip can be the full-length episode. So if it's something that I have renamed manually and titled, that will stay forever. But if it's something that has the generic information, that has a 2-week clock on it, and it may be saved in a permanent format. But if we link to the clips, I know it's confusing and stupid. It's just the way Twitch does it. But there is a way to use Twitch with as much permanency as YouTube or any other medium. So we're actually not that limited there.
Oh, so why are we not doing that with our entire show every time with Dizdon then? Is Dizdon actually in charge of the Twitch stream?
No, I do save our show every time, almost every time. I always get the episodes with guests. And sometimes I don't save all the episodes that are open discussion, because if people want to look through all the Twitch clips, it's probably better that they see the episodes that have like understandable names, and the open discussions are still preserved on Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. It's just like I don't know. I feel like they're the more accessible ones. But I save almost every single episode, and on Twitch permanently, ultimately.
Okay,
And
so
we could save literally every single one on Twitch too.
So when I go to the Gang Roundtable on Twitch, right, and I go to look in the videos area,
go to clips.
I don't see one that says clips.
All right,
I only see videos. So when I go to videos, none of those will disappear, right? Because I see one from 2 months ago with Aaron Fogg, and I was terrified we would lose that one.
Okay, see, hold on. Videos. So if you go filter by clips is an option, and then
Well, I don't have those options, so I'm going to have to talk with you about that later. But I do see the one from Aaron Fogg is still available on there, so I believe what you're saying.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but is Diston the person responsible for the Twitch stream, or are you our go-to guy for that?
Well, Diston created the channel, and he can help us. But I think I might also have owner permissions. But I mean, Diston is the one who knows Twitch the best. Jeremy usually operates our stream. Sometimes I do when he's unavailable, and now you also can. So who is our Twitch guy? There's not like a clean answer to that.
Okay, I think that Diston owns the channel for now, right?
Yes,
As far as,
Diston
yeah,
owns
the
our
owner.
channel.
Okay, so
And he is, yeah, I'm most comfortable with trusting him for Twitch technical stuff.
okay, so we also have the Anchor FM and Spotify are joined, and it appears first on Anchor FM when you drop it, and then it goes to Spotify like soon after, like within 24 hours or within an hour.
Yeah, usually like an hour or so.
Okay, so so if somebody wanted to do something using those, help us with any of those different aspects, or wants to, for example, if we wanted to go back and put in keywords for some of the old episodes or things like that on Spotify or Anchor.
Yeah, you can do that in Anchor, and that should also update them on Spotify if we do that.
Okay, so these are all different things that we might need doing at some point, right? I remember that Faye Doney was saying that we could have some sort of Wikipedia page. And do we have anybody in our group that knows Wikipedia well enough to go in there and make a page for us?
I think you need to reach a certain notoriety barrier first before they allow you.
Does anyone know how that happens?
Yeah. I can research a little bit into that.
Because I mean, we have 100 episodes. You would think we could qualify.
Well, I think that might be something to pursue after we get all of our, like who wants to be actually on the website, who wants to be actually, have their bios written or some sort of photo or some sort of information about themselves on the website. I think using that information, then we would be able to be more prepared to actually have a true Wikipedia page. Does that make sense? Like we don't have enough information about us. Even on our own website to really get there, I think. But in the meantime, if any of us in the podcast actually know how to do Wikipedia, this would be the time to research that, right? Okay, we're doing pretty good on time. Does anybody else have something else that they wanted to bring up before we close out the meeting in about 10 minutes or so?
I would like to chime in.
Yeah.
I need help on my documentary. I'm having this meeting soon. I finally raised enough money. Woo! Except for I need to figure out how to send 3 different types of payment to one type of like service. So that'll be interesting. 4 types of payment, yeah. But like for that, I mean, we don't have to hash out details or anything, but like I'm thinking maybe I need to make a commercial or something, or whatever. But I'd like to clip some stuff from our podcast, to kind of like prove that we are, trying to move humanity forward in a capacity that's action based, and I recognize we're a pretty busy bunch, but if we do get these little clips together, if we do start doing that kind of thing, I mean, that would really help out the documentary too. So, I mean, I would hope there would be a little extra motivation for that. But I think this is the best way to get the most attention to our podcast too, but not just that, like attention to the movements. And, if you guys think of any movements that you've heard about that maybe I don't have, that would be helpful. And I don't mind generating a list to put on our website of affiliate movements, because I think that's actually quite helpful. I have them handwritten. I just haven't typed it anywhere. And of course, like for me to get on the website, I could try and help with edits and stuff, but as far as Wi-Fi goes in this pandemic, it's so freaking hard for me to find somewhere to plug in a laptop and find Wi-Fi at the same time where I'm not scorching myself in my car, because it's like 100 degrees here. So,
yeah, we understand the limitations you have on that end, and if you need some technical help, hit me up in terms of getting certain things done. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll find the right person to talk to if we need permissions to do something. Okay.
Okay, cool. Because anything technical, it seems to be just a pain in my ass, and it actually just like demotivates me after a while. So I'm good with meeting with people. I'm good with making phone calls with people. Like, these are strengths of mine. As far as getting people on the show, I'm not terribly great, but I've done a couple. So like,
yeah.
I'm better with just people I know.
Yeah. So we also want to. So the thing about the website is it's going to be an ongoing project, and it's going to help alleviate some of the problems that we have because we are able to control that pretty well. At some point, we can have a page for each podcast, right? We're just not quite ready to. We just don't have enough manpower to do that. And I wanted to let people know before we go that one of the limitations I have right now is I found a lump in my breast. And so I have been going back and forth to doctor's visits and going back and forth with insurance and things like that. So it's really making me super tired and like not really like I'm not feel focused on the things that I would love to be doing. So if I'm slacking off, and you know why, and that way I feel like everybody is able to talk to me about things without having to I don't know. It's just clearer when everybody knows what's happening. I'm trying not to put that on any of my public Facebook pages or anything like that because I don't want my parents to know. I don't actually want my family to know, and so I'm just going to keep it between people like me and the people that I actually work with on a daily basis. And what else is going on? Oh, so I would like to also invite people to if you want to do something with the website, like for example, if you want to work on the calendar aspect of it, or if you want to work on, some other aspect of the website, that there's lots of different things that we can do with it. Let me know, and I'd be happy to also, share permissions and stuff with you so that we can get it done. And I know I've already tried to share some permissions with Faye, but Faye is not able to do a lot of these things with poor Wi-Fi problems as we talked about. So.
I honestly want to. That's my frustration. Unless I'm in LA, and then when I'm in LA, I'm working on other things. So I'm just like, dang it, this is that. So yeah.
Right. So I wanted to encourage you to really focus on the Facebook group and do the Facebook group and page, and maybe make for that particular one. I had already said that it would be great if we could have like a post every day, and sometimes that can be automated ahead of time. So if you want help figuring out how to do that, I can also help you with that. I can teach people more things than not have to actually do them myself.
No, I think I could totally do it. And I think I already started doing that kind of thing. So
awesome.
I'm just not amazing at doing descriptions if I'm in a hurry. And so I just might post a video. So, I mean, as long as we have descriptive the video, it helps me out a lot. But if not, that's the bare minimum when I have little energy, but sometimes I like writing stuff out for it. So it helps when I'm actually participating.
And I also wanted to report that of the money that was raised for the website, there's about $80 left, I think. I forget the exact amount right this minute, but something around $80, $82. And I'm planning on probably using some of that for getting a theme that I'm going to move to with the next, building the next aspect of the website. So that's what's going on with the.
Do you pay more for a theme? What kind of deal is that?
Okay, so that prevents me from having to do as much design work. And what happens is I would be picking a podcast style theme, which I had done all this research before, and I tried to post it in our DMs, and of course then it just scrolled up, so everybody was like, whatever, But and nobody gave me any feedback, so I'm probably just going to pick one, just for the, just like in terms of moving forward.
That's the right
I think, it'll probably cost around, I forgot, maybe $40 to $60 of our money will go to making the theme. And the theme will come with designed elements like all I have to do is plug in the podcasts in the future, for example, I would only have to, like, it would already have a lot of the different things that we're about to create. And so we won't need to have to create all those things from scratch. And that would just be a great time saver. And I think it'll make it easier for the website to be usable for somebody else if they come in and actually want to make changes, you know, and take on some of those responsibilities.
So I'm going to make a request for like $10 of that to cover the fees for paying this guy for this documentary. Are people cool with that?
I'm fine with
Sure.
that.
Okay. Because I'm just missing about $10 of fees, I realized after looking into it. So that would help me a lot. I'm
Sure.
pretty much using the last of my own money as well in order to make this happen. So I mean, I can earn more money, but this is just as soon as I can get it out, you know, because for me, the sooner the better, you know.
Yeah, it's like, you know, because of like you and Jacqueline, I feel more of a sense of urgency to get a Patreon up. So you have like, so this can be something that starts financially supporting you for the work you put into it. So also, you know, you're literally vulnerable. So
Yeah.
And also, I mean, I feel like that money was raised by you, so I'm perfectly happy to send some of it back.
Cool. Yeah, I forgot we had a surplus if I'm really going to be honest. And I'm like, wait, that's actually like perfect amount, and it's not a lot. But
right.
cool.
And it's so aligned, it's all aligned in the same interests. Yeah, I think the people who donated the money would be very happy to do that too. I don't think they would find
They
it to
were
be
part of the people
misappropriation.
that contributed this time too. Not all of them, but some of
Right.
them.
Okay, so
Do we
if
have
nothing,
anything else on our agenda?
yeah, because I'd like to end the meeting on time if we're done. Set a good precedent for all our future meetings.
thank you for running this meeting. Great work.
All right. When do you want to come back together for another meeting, let's say? Should we do it in a month? Do you think that's maybe once a month is a good amount of time?
Well, I thought next Sunday we'd have that training for Bart this time.
Oh, training doesn't have to be a full meeting.
Okay, so
trainings can be
7 to
recorded.
8, Bart training and tutorial and Q&A. Meet Bart. All right, 7 to 8 next week.
Okay, and then so I think for a full meeting, maybe in a month or so, we'll look back, like for September, we'll have another meeting. So before September, I'd love everybody to think about what is going to be your bio, what would you like to include, whether you'd like to be included. Make sure you get yourself a podcast email. If you can get yourself to at least check the email, then you can have one. And then also think about how you would like to incorporate and whether or not you'd be part of that if we were to do it. Okay. All right. Thanks for recording and putting it up for us, Jeremy. Oh, Jeremy may be cooking or eating at this point. All right, then I'm ready to go. So I'm just going to say goodbye to everyone. Bye. Thank you for coming to the meeting.
Bye.
Appreciate you.
I'll see you next week.
Thank you for facilitating.
podcasting with me.
guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Y'all have a blessed evening. Bye. It's good to see y'all.
Bye.
See you too. Later, everyone.